So let's get into the latest with CeeDee Lamb's contract. So there is news coming out from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that CeeDee Lamb is likely waiting on Justin Jefferson to sign his extension before he ends up signing his. So this article is from Bleacher Report. If you guys want to go check it out, this is on Bleacher Report. Dallas Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb isn't in a hurry to sign a new contract, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Lamb and quarterback Dak Prescott are both in the last years of their deal. Fowler reported Sunday on SportsCenter that Prescott is believed to have priority in terms of an extension and that Lamb is, quote, okay with that because he's likely waiting on Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. The wideout market is already spiking with the Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown and Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown joining Miami Dolphins star Tyreek Hill and earning $30+ million annually. Signing right now would net Lamb a sizable payday, and you'd expect him to become the highest paid receiver since that's what happened with St. Brown and then Brown. So Amon-Ra St. Brown and then A.J. Brown. But Jefferson is bound to set a new standard whenever he agrees to a multi-year pact. Spotrac estimates his value to be $32.5 million per year, and that's probably a little conservative. The three-time Pro Bowler's impact might extend beyond his overall earnings too. Fowler reported in April he's emphasizing guarantees in his next contract. The nature of football incentivizes players to take the sure thing. Were Lamb to suffer a major injury in 2024, the kind of deal that's on the table now may not be there next spring. Lamb isn't the only notable receiver who's looking to see what Jefferson ultimately gets, though, and playing the waiting game could pay off in the long run. That article is from Bleacher Report. So here's the thing. The fact that the Cowboys are going to let CeeDee Lamb reset the market after Justin Jefferson is flat out ridiculous. Now, in the article, it says that they're prioritizing Dak's contract, which I get. I understand that. But you can work on two contracts at the same time. You can. And by the way, I'm not going to give the Cowboys a pass for this because they should have gotten these contracts done way earlier in the offseason. Way earlier in the offseason, they should have got these contracts done. But they've been doing this thing where they're waiting and they're trying to win the deal. Let me tell you this when it comes to the Cowboys wanting to win the deal. When you have special players on your roster, you're not going to win the deal. You have to overpay for them. That's just what happens. Okay? When somebody benefits you to the extent that some of these players that they're looking to extend can benefit you, it's worth it at the end of the day, right? It's like if you're dating a girl who has a lot of value, right? You have to treat her right. You have to buy her gifts. You have to text her good morning every morning, right? You have to treat her a certain type of way. You have to act a certain type of way because she brings something to your life that benefits you. That's the same way you have to look at these contracts. You have to overpay for CeeDee Lamb because he's a special player. You have to overpay for Dak Prescott because he's a special player. Second team All-Pro. Stop it, okay? Micah Parsons, he's a special player. You have to overpay for this guy. That's just the nature of the business. These guys are going to be critical pieces to whatever type of run you want to make in the near future. These are all guys that within the length of their contract, within the life of their contract, are going to be impact players. They're young enough, especially at their positions, because I know Dak's going to be 31, but he's playing the quarterback position, so it's a little different. They age a little differently than other positions. But when you look at Micah, 25, CeeDee Lamb, I think he's about to be 25. So if you sign these guys to 5-year deals, they're going to be playing at a very high level for the life of their contracts. Okay? You have to overpay for these guys. And guess what? Once you overpay for them and reset the market, you're good. You're done. Because at the same time, Jamar Chase is going to get extended next offseason. He's going to reset the market. There's going to be other guys that come and get extensions and reset the market. If you would have signed CeeDee Lamb last year to market resetting money, which would have been like, $27 million, we'd be looking at it this year with all the new contracts that are out there and saying, damn, we got CeeDee Lamb for a really good price. And if you're CeeDee Lamb, right, you got to look at your production. I don't blame him for wanting to wait for Justin Jefferson. Not one bit. Because if I'm CeeDee Lamb, I'm looking at my production. I'm like, dude, I was second in the league in yards this year. I put up almost as many yards as Tyreek Hill did. Now, I understand Tyreek Hill played 2 less games than CeeDee Lamb, or 1.5 less games, to be exact. I'm not 100% sure there. But you get what I'm saying. CeeDee Lamb was up there with some of the very best receivers in football this past season. So he wants to be compensated like one of the best receivers in football. This is a guy that year after year has gotten better, has become more productive year after year. You build your offense around CeeDee Lamb. Like that's just what happens. He's a top 3 receiver in football. Right now, he is a top 3 receiver in football. CeeDee Lamb is. You can make the case, maybe you put Davante Adams in there. Okay, that's fine. There's nobody I'm putting over CeeDee Lamb other than Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson. If you want to put Davante Adams in there, that's fine, completely fine. But at the same time, CeeDee Lamb is a more valuable player right now because of his age. Teams would be more ready to extend a guy like CeeDee Lamb to a big contract than a guy like Davante Adams because of their age. That's what I mean by CeeDee Lamb being more valuable. So the Cowboys have to stop messing around here. And they've been doing this with these contract extensions. They want to win the deal. That's their thing. Guess what? You're not going to win the deal here. Tough. But guess what? You won the deal with Trayvon Diggs last year, and you got a really good deal out of the guy. Okay? There you go. Like, you got a good deal with Terrence Steele as well. You got a team-friendly contract there. Okay? You're going to win the deal with some of these guys, but you're not going to win it with these guys. You have to reset the market. You have to be comfortable doing that. Okay? You have all pro players. And this isn't one of those situations to where, like, Dak, I understand he's a first-time All-Pro, but he plays a position where there's only 2 All-Pro selections at that position, and for a majority of his career, he was playing in the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees era. So it was kind of difficult to make All-Pro teams during that era because of the quality of quarterback that's there. Now, don't get it twisted. There's still quality quarterbacks in the game, but, Dak's one of those guys that you look at as a top of the league type of quarterback, right? So, yeah, he only has 1 All-Pro, but, CeeDee Lamb, multi-time All-Pro, Micah Parsons, multi-time All-Pro. It's just, it is what it is, okay? You're going to lose this one. And the quicker you get it done, the worse, or the quicker you get it done, the worse it's going to look in a year from now. And that's just the case with these contracts. But like, I don't want to go back a year from now and say, man, we could have got CeeDee Lamb at like $27 million 2 years ago instead of $34 million or $35 million a year later. Like right there, like, and that's kind of what pisses me off when people say like, oh, Dak, you should take a pay cut. CeeDee, you should take a pay. These guys should take a pay cut. Like, no, this team needs to sign their players way before they sign them, right? Because don't tell Dak, hey, you should take a pay cut. You should take a $5 million pay cut. Why? The team could have done that. If they would have signed me last offseason, I would have been getting paid $52, $53 million, but they didn't sign me last offseason. Like, if they would have overpaid for him last season, maybe they reset the market by a couple $1 million. Okay, and I think the market last year was, 55? I think Burrow ended up with 55, but he was like the last quarterback to get signed. Like, if they would have extended Dak right after that playoff game and said, hey, look, here's $50 million. Hey, you want to know what? Here's $53 million. Now, that's the pay cut that the fans are talking about. Like, I want people to understand this. Stop telling these players they need to take a pay cut. Stop. Because they're getting dragged through the mud with these damn negotiations. The team needs to be better with these contracts. Stop taking accountability away from the front office. They need to be better with these contracts. Okay? And when we talk about, oh, Dak should take a pay cut, he should take $55 million or $50 million. Okay, you're getting a backup quarterback and like another linebacker with that money. You're not getting difference makers with $10 million. It's like the only way you're going to see a real difference in the quality of players you're able to add to your roster is if Dak were to take a $20 million pay cut. And by no means should he do that. I'm not advocating for that whatsoever. I'm not even advocating that he should take a pay cut. Because again, this front office needs to be better with the way they handle their negotiations. They're getting pantsed at the negotiation table, and agents understand they can pants this team at the negotiation table because they understand that at the end of the day, they're gonna cave at the end of the day, and the agents are going to get the contract for their clients that they ultimately want. That's just what happens there. So, the Cowboys, they're really hurting themselves with waiting for these negotiations, and they need to stop playing around and get these things done ASAP.